Thanks everyone for coming to this installment of Reality Team Conversations. We are playing mind games for the next few weeks. Our first installment here, we're going to look at the game Fakey. It's a media literacy game designed to help us learn to get better at spotting fake news while still sort of having a little bit of fun. So with me today is Mihai Avram, and he is actually the creator of the game. So hi, thanks for joining me and talking about this.
Hey Deb, thank you for having me.
I am delighted. So first of all, tell us who you are and why you made this game.
Okay, so I'm Mihai, as you've said before, and I'm basically a full stack developer, and I'm focusing on creating tools that ideally can make the world a little better. Fakey was the first foray in me kind of doing that, and essentially it basically started out at my master's working with Phil Manser, who is a professor of misinformation at Indiana University. And so him and I worked on Fakey, and ever since then it's kind of been used by maybe 10,000 users, a couple thousand users here and there. So it's still going. Yeah, it's a nice project that I'm happy to have been part of and still supporting here and there.
So tell me, why did you make the game, and what were you hoping that people would learn if they spent some time with it?
Yeah, so really the inception of the game is kind of funny. When we started working on it in about 2016, it was, you have to keep in mind that dating websites such as like Tinder or Bumble were kind of growing at that time, and Phil, who's an idea machine, came up with the idea of, why not blend these two together and take something like the swiping methodology used in all these apps, and also have that projected onto this idea of fake news, which was also blowing up at the time. And so I kind of sat with the idea, and I thought it was brilliant. And so yeah, that's how we started working on it. And that was initially our goal, was to help vaccinate people in a way, and help them understand, in the social media ecosystem, and when it comes to fake news, what are some things that we need to understand, and how can we prevent fake news from proliferating, or just kind of understanding where it comes from and how to deal with it.
So the idea here is that you're presented with a scenario and you have to choose what to do with it, right? Whether it's true, whether it's false, or whether you think you need a little bit more information, something like that.
Yes, exactly right.
You're trying to give people some better habits and sort of train their skepticism in the right way. Is that right?
Yes. I think if you imagine putting people in some sort of social media world, and we all kind of live in it anyway, so for them to understand that our actions actually have there's consequences to them, right? So we have to be very careful in what we're sharing, and whatever is posted on social media, how we can interact with it, and maybe taking a second look and understanding where does the source come from, and maybe picking up some cues to understand whether it's a truthful source or a source that tends to maybe sway us or manipulate us in some way. Yeah.
Cool. Well, why don't you pull it up on your computer, share your screen, and show us a little bit about how it works.
Will do. Sharing right now. Let me know if you see it.
Oh, yeah, I gotcha.
All right. We'll go to Fakey. So I'll just play anonymously for now. And here we see my dashboard because I played the other day. And we'll just start a quick game. So we'll hit play, and this is the newsfeed that comes up, and if we play again, you'll see that a different newsfeed will come up too. So it's pretty replayable in that sense. And so basically now I can go and scroll just like I would on social media and see, you know, what has been posted here. The first one, I mean, this one is pretty easy because it comes from Reuters, just on the headline. But you know, if reading the title, "Vintage planes crash in Switzerland, killed all 20 on board," police say. Vintage planes crash. So this is repeated again. And if this is indeed Reuters, um, I'm going to like it because I'm actually not sure. And so it did come from Reuters, and I got some points. But certainly there could have been maybe a fake news site that was trying to impersonate Reuters, and so we have to be very careful in understanding that some of these signals, like the image or the title or description, can be misleading sometimes. So basically, I think that the whole point and ethos behind it is that through all of these interactions and playing these articles, we can pick up on the cues that constitute a truthful news article from one that is a little bit more malicious.
So each one of these news articles that you show, you give people a choice of what they can do with it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So thank you for highlighting that. I suppose I never mentioned it. So here's the next article, and so we can either share it, just like on social media, I can like it, or I can fact check it. And if I'm not sure, I can use a hint. And so I'll just use a hint here. And given that it does come from The Guardian, I know The Guardian is a credible source, and I can also go and view the article if I wanted to. And so it encourages you to go and read all of it and make sure that it, you know, it's coming from the right resource it says it's coming from. And so now I can essentially share it. So you'll see here that there's two components. There's the points and the skill, and you'll never lose points, right? So it's a way of encouraging you to keep playing. But the skill is, I suppose, the thing where, you know, if you wanted to really get a sense of how good you are at distinguishing between truthful news and fake news, that is essentially the key. And I can actually go into how that works if you're curious, but that's essentially the game. So you know, let's do another one that I think may be fake. This one might be good. This is Trump's new plan to steal the election. This is bad. So the image is pretty good. It's high quality, but I'm not really getting any sense that there was a lot of effort put into the title and description. So maybe I'll fact check this one. And as you can see, this was a questionable source. It comes from rawstory.com. And I gained my points and skill in doing that. So let's just hit done, and we'll see here that, you know, a summary of my score. I played 3 articles and they're 10 points each. So as you can see, I did pretty okay. And then I'll see a review of, you know, all of the articles I interacted with and whether or not I got them right or I got them wrong. So I suppose I got lucky because I got all of them right, but if I got them wrong, it would tell me why I got them wrong and how I can improve better next time.
Got it. So who do you expect to play these games?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the right audience for this? Is this a high school student? Is this sort of, you know, any adult?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I think demographically from what I've seen, it's a lot of students, whether it's both high school and college, that either are studying or are curious about fake news and misinformation, as well as enthusiasts that are, you know, basically just fake news and media literacy enthusiasts. I've seen a lot of these types of people use it, and I think that's essentially what it naturally lends itself to, the audience it naturally lends itself to. However, who I wish should play it, and maybe they do, is really just people that are unsure or unaware of how, you know, big social media organization and big media can sway us, and you know, they can sway our thoughts and beliefs and mental models all through these articles. And so, you know, I'm hoping that, you know, people that are unaware of this could play a game like Fakey, and then understand that, you know, these are the types of news sources, right? There's clickbait, there's conspiracy theory, there's highly biased sources, and here's how we should interact with each and every one of them.
So you're kind of hoping that people who maybe are not as dialed into the fact that there's disinformation out there and it fools every single one of us at some point, if they play this, spend, you know, 5 or 10 minutes with this, they might actually start to see some patterns and get some intuition about what they should be on the lookout for.
Precisely. Yes.
That's cool. Well, we've had some fun playing this game at our team, and I think some of our viewers will have some fun with it too. Are you working on any other sort of things in the future around disinformation? Do you make other games?
I'm hoping to. At the moment, not as much around misinformation. I suppose, so right now I'm working on an app that, you know, where I think we basically creating recommendations for better actions. So actions we can take as individuals. And I think I could take a twist to it and really kind of guide people in taking the right actions against fake news. But, you know, nothing else at the moment. I do think the topic is fascinating. And yeah, maybe I will work on that. However, I think that even Fakey can be expanded so much more, and I could even maybe in the future try to expand it.
Well, that would be super interesting, and I hope that if you do that, you give us a buzz, and we can talk about our wish list and what we hear from people when they ask us questions, what confuses them, this, that, or the other thing. I liked this game because it was really simple and really effective, and a number of people on our team sort of said the same thing. And it's pretty easy to get the hang of it, and it's straightforward, and it gives you good information. So thanks for stopping by and giving us a chance to sort of get to know it and where it came from. I hope more people try the game. Spend a few minutes. It's not very, it's only 5-10 minutes. You'll get something out of this, and you'll have a bit of fun. And hopefully we'll see some new stuff coming out in the future.
Thank you so much, Deb, for having me and helping me, you know, share my story and share the story around Fakey. And yeah, like I said, I hope it helps people. And yeah, so get on it and play Fakey.
All right, excellent. When we post this, we'll post this with links to the game, as well as your website and our directory of all of these games that we're going to go through in this series. So thank you for watching. Thank you for playing, and we'll see you soon, Mihai.
Thanks, Deb.